Yes. Now.
Like just hold on to. No.
Yeah, no, just face it towards here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each question so they can sort of mostly see this, but realize there's someone talking.
Oh, okay.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, let's go. Okay, what I'm doing here this morning, as usual, as we all know by now, is I'm doing my pre-class. That is to say, I arrive 20 or 30 minutes early, and a couple of my students get here early, and we talk about philosophy before the class starts. And one of the students about a month ago had this bright idea to do filmed lessons while we're waiting for everyone else to get here. It's Friday morning, we're all half asleep, so on and so forth. So, cutting to the chase now. What I'm doing here is walking through the questions that the students have to write about for their second paper. Okay, getting into it. Now, the first question concerns the differences between classical antiquity and Christianity. This is really important because my whole thesis in this class is that contemporary humanity, as in 2016 or whatever we are, is the convergence of three big trends. One is classical antiquity, secondly is Judeo-Christianity, and the third is technology and science. That part of it. The third part of it we leave aside for the time being. But so it's very important to understand what the Greeks were and what they're not, and that's the purpose of this question. Okay, keeping in mind now, we know all this already. We've studied it in a slightly different perspective. Number one, the Greeks don't have a personal God. The way to understand this is to think of the cave and think of the sun. That sun doesn't do anything in a personal way. It serves as a foundation of the universe and conditions everything, but it most certainly, it most certainly doesn't, have a seat? It most certainly does not guide and care for and love humanity, okay? And that's what the Christian God does. The Christian God is the creator of personal life, creator of the planet, creator of the universe, for a particular series of reasons. Okay, so that's point number one, having to do with personal God. The second part, and students, as you're doing this, as you're writing the question, I mean, you can arrange these however you want, and there's more. I mean, there's really about 8 or 9 important ones, but I just took, if you want, the 5 that I like the most. Okay, I have to speed up because we try to keep these little snippets under 5 minutes. Okay, the Greek gods don't create anything. They are, in a way, created. That is to say, they are part of the creation. They are generated by this whole cosmic drama, and they're like, whatever, 3rd or 4th or 5th on the stages of creation. In Judeo-Christianity, it's exactly the opposite. The primary thing in the beginning is God and God's purpose. So you want to see that how different the Judeo-Christian tradition is from the Greeks. The main thing, and I think the thing that's really important, very important for us, is that humanity, meaning man, meaning the human species, does not have a special divine creation. It's sort of an afterthought, and it's way down on the food chain of creation. Whereas in Christianity, the reason for man being created, humanity being created, is to be in God's image and to carry over in his purpose. Now, if you remember, we talked about Aristotle's final cause, which is the purpose of something. So you see, in classical antiquity, they had a sense of final cause, but they didn't see man as especially involved in that. It's the opposite in Judeo-Christianity. Now, the other thing, we didn't cover this very much. I probably should do it again, or do it at some point. Because of the way the universe moves from chaos to the cosmic principles, to the titans, to the gods, to humanity, evil and aggression and chaos and disorganization are built into the system. In Christianity, it's exactly the opposite. It's difficult. in the Christian perspective, when the purpose is good, the purpose is one of love and positive, to figure out how evil is constituted. And no one has ever really worked this out. It's not especially logical. But so you have to find the source of evil and the source of sadness and the sense of tragedy, not in God. And then, exactly how you do it depends on, sort of your point of view. The fifth thing is that the sort of difference between the perspective about the mass of humanity. The thing that we're working on now is how in Christianity all beings are God's creation and of great value. Jesus is sent to bring a message and bring a notion of meaning to the masses of humanity that has all been impossible in classical antiquity, because the possibility of the individuals and the individual societies raising out of that cave